Hey everyone, this is Crystal, and today, instead of sharing a project life process with you, I thought I'd do a little walkthrough of what I've done so far this year. So I just finished week 26 a couple weeks ago. That means I'm halfway through the year, so I thought I'd do just a little overview of everything I've done so far. So this is the album that I'm using. This is a Becky Higgins album from many years ago. I think it probably was from about 2012. I had originally purchased it back then thinking I would get another one if I needed a second one for the year. I did end up needing a second one for that year, and they were no longer available. So I ended up replacing it with a different album I could get two of. And then this one just stayed in my stash for all those years. I used it to store page protectors for a little while, but I decided to finally use it since I intend to only use this one album for this year's project life. So I pulled it back out, decided to use what I have, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to open it up and try and make sure you can see both sides of the page here. This is my title page. I had created it using some pieces from Colorcast Designs. So this Hello 2020 and the sequin mix here, all these little stars. I think the sequins were from my stash, but these little acrylic stars were all from Colorcast Designs. And then I combined that with some pieces from Studio Calico Digitals. So I had printed these out. I think that I recolored a few of them to match these pieces from Colorcast Designs and to make it kind of a monochromatic page highlighting all of us, everyone in our family for this year. Week 1 was a page done for Citrus Twist Kits. Let me make sure everything is in frame here. One thing I will say about this album as I look through it, there were definitely times where I did a bit more kind of exciting work and times where I was just throwing things in pockets. So week 2 was one where I did something a little bit more. I had created a little pocket, I stitched. I really love the pages where I've done stitching, and I think that's something I definitely need to remember to do more of. For this one, I had used all of these little fabric pieces. I also really love that texture, which makes me want to maybe get some canvas paper and print out some of the digitals on that canvas paper, because I just love the way that that looks and the texture that that adds to these pages. So week 2 was also Citrus Twist. I think this was using the add-on kit. And you can see some of my page protectors have torn a bit. I need to get some clear hole reinforcers to make sure that they don't fall out of my album. Week 3 was a stash kit. This was a kit that I had created back in 2019 with the intention of using it in January of 2020. I think it was partly some Pink Fish Studio, partly some things from Hip Kit. Just kind of a random collection of things that all kind of went together. So this was one that didn't have a lot going on. It was just kind of throw the things in the pockets and make it work. Week 4 was using a digital collection from Feature Craft designed by In a Creative Bubble, and then a stamp set from Heidi Swap. I think these are from Pink Fish Studio. And then I have just some random labels as well. Again, not super exciting, although I did enjoy stamping and fussy cutting the stamps to use as embellishments. Week 5 was another one for Citrus Twist Kits. I really loved these foam. There was like some words and then these hearts as well. I really loved those, and I like, again, the dimension that that adds without it being overly bulky. Since I am trying to get this entire year into the one album, I try and prevent anything from being too terribly bulky, and those were a nice kind of thickness. Week 6, I believe this was also Citrus Twist Kits. Yes, I'm pretty sure this was also Citrus Twist Kits. So cards and alphas and some chipboard pieces as well. Week 7 is one of my favorites in this album. I used some pieces from Citrus Twist and then combined them with pieces from Colorcast Designs. So this Happy Place and all of these wood veneer pieces are from Colorcast Designs. I really love the wood veneer from Colorcast Designs because it's super thin, so it adds lots of texture without it being super thick, and they come with adhesive already on them, so they're super easy to use. Week 8 was another stash kit. This was using some older things from my stash as well as, I believe, some digitals from Feature Craft. Week 9 was another one that I created using a Feature Craft kit. I can't quite remember the name of this one, but if any of these items are still available, I will be sure to link them down below. I do really like this one as well, even though it's fairly simple. I did do some stamping and fussy cutting, and I do like how I added the embellishments in the center of that photo collage. Week 10, again, was another one that I did using some digitals from Feature Craft. These were some older ones from the previous fall, but I felt like the colors really went well with the photos that I had for this week. I also did a lot more work digitally for week 10, which I really enjoyed, and I haven't gone back and done that again, and I think it's something that I need to do more of, just because I was able to get all of my journaling on here. I was able to add a lot more journaling than I normally do, just because I was typing it up on my computer and able to change the font size and make it fit in the space that I had without compromising embellishments or photos. Week 11 was a fun one. This was one that I created using my freebie. So I designed all of these cards and embellishments, and I had those available for download for free to celebrate a milestone on YouTube. Those are still available, so I will be sure to link those down below as well. It was a fun thing to do, to create these printables, and then it was also a lot of fun to actually use them in my own spread. Week 12 was one for Citrus Twist kits. I really like the colors of this one as well. And you can tell it doesn't bother me at all to have very different color schemes on facing pages. To me, each week kind of stands alone and is its own thing. So it definitely doesn't bother me to have lots of different colors and lots of different kind of styles all mixed together in my album. I do really like the colors of this one. I like all of the pops of gold with these puffy stickers. And then kind of the torn edges as well. I should really do more of that because, again, it adds that texture without it adding a lot of bulk. Week 13 was one that I created using a printable from Brandi Kincaid from her digital shop. Again, it was an older one, but it was just too perfect for this time. So it was all about being home, all about staying home, and this was the beginning of our quarantine. So I knew I had to get it and had to use it for this spread. And then I combined it with some just random things from my stash. This is the first of my coronavirus pandemic inserts. This one was just kind of all about how we were approaching staying home and the things that we were doing. I used a combination of supplies from Citrus Twist kits, from Feature Craft, from Tracy Reed, and from In a Creative Bubble. Week 14 was another one for Citrus Twist kits. I do really like this one as well. I think it's the pops of gold puffy sticker that really draw me to these pages. So I should definitely pull out my stash of these. I know I have more and use them more often. Week 15 was another one for Citrus Twist kits. I do really like this one as well. I really like the pages where I have lots of white space. I think it makes my photos stand out a lot more, so I think that's something I need to keep in mind in the future as well. And then I have my second coronavirus pandemic insert. This one was all about the food we were eating. And again, I used the Citrus Twist kit. I think it was called Cravings kit for this one. It was just too perfect to use for all of the food and drinks we were having and enjoying while at home. Week 16, I think this was another stash kit. I had chosen some things for my stash just based on a color scheme and decided to use those. Week 17, I believe it was another stash kit, so I must have been short on kits at the time, but I can tell you a lot of these are from Brandi Kincaid, so I think those were from my stash. And then some alphas from Feed Your Craft, and it looks like maybe some embellishments from Studio Calico. Week 18, this one was for for Citrus Twist Kits. I had done some stamping. I created this filler card using some stamps and some embellishments. I do really like that. I really enjoyed the process of stamping, and it reminds me that I should try it more often. I'm not great about using my stamps in ways like this that are kind of outside of just, you know, stamping them onto a label. So I need to remember to just play with them more often. Week 19 was using the Heidi Swap Storyline Chapters collection and just some alphas from my stash. And then these are from Colorcast Designs. So those are more of the little wood veneers from Colorcast Designs. Week 20, I used the Miss Modern collection from the Stamp Market. That was something that I had recently added to my stash, and it was a lot of fun to use. It's a really colorful collection, and it made this week a lot of fun. Week 21 was for Citrus Twist, and I used all of the pieces from the kit that kind of went along with these florals, and I really love how kind of pulled together it looks. It wasn't anything crazy or anything dramatic. I didn't do any kind of special techniques. I just created these little clusters, and I really like the way it looks. So it doesn't always have to be super involved or you know, using lots of techniques for it to look good. But it is fun to do those techniques sometimes. Week 22, I believe this was another stash kit. I pulled everything that kind of went along with this card, I believe, the Wash Your Hands card, because it was still during coronavirus. We were still quarantined, and I felt like that was a really good one for this week. And then I found other things in my stash that went along with that. Week 23 was another one for Citrus Twist Kits. This was using partly the add-on kit as well as the Life Crafted kit. You can see I have those gorgeous enamel dots used on this one as well. Really like the bright colors of this one. For week 24, I used some bits and pieces from Colorcast Designs along with the June Extravagant Hope digital kit from Brandi Kincaid. I thought it went really well together, and I like the way that this turned out. Week 25 was for Citrus Twist Kits using the add-on kit from this month. I used some pieces from cut apart sheets that were in the add-on kit, as well as some cards from the Life Crafted kit, and kind of combined it all together. And I really love the kind of repeating rainbow motif on this one. And then finally, week 26, I had used a digital printable cards from Studio Calico that I had purchased during their $1 digital sale. This is also one of my favorites in the album so far. So I combined it with some older Studio Calico chipboard and some acetate speech bubbles from Pinkfish Studio, and it's just so fun and colorful and really bold, and I really like the way that it turned out. So overall, I think that keeping it simple is okay, but I would really like to challenge myself to do more stitching and do more pockets and do more kind of interactive and fun things than I have done. Instead of just trying to get it done, really think about how I can use my supplies in different ways that to not to be too cliche, but to kind of think outside of the box in how I'm using my supplies, because I do really enjoy those pages where I did a bit more of that. So that's something I need to keep in mind moving forward. But I hope you enjoyed seeing kind of a flip through of my album so far. I will be sure to do another flip through at the end of the year so you can see the other half of the album as well. And then maybe I will do one quick one where I go through the whole thing. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about anything that I have shown you here today, be sure to leave those in the comments down below, and I will definitely get back to you. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you back here soon.